afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever Northport High School Orchestra Spooktacular. You may have noticed I look a little different. I'm dressed today as one of my favorite conductors. His name is Gustavo Dudamel, and he's originally from Venezuela. He is brilliant, he is energetic, he is passionate, and he has amazing hair. In real life, I don't have any hair. So I have to admit, I'm very, very proud of his talents and a bit envious of his follicles. But enough about that. Behind me, you see almost 80 orchestral musicians from Northport High School. A few years ago, they were new in the elementary and middle school programs. They're very eager to learn about you and to support you as you learn to play these wondrous instruments. Our program for you today is exciting. It is varied. And remember, this is the first time we're doing it. We hope to have this perfected by the time you are all in the high school string program. So let's talk about our first piece. It's from the Romantic period, written by French composer Camille Saint Saens. It is originally for symphony orchestra and solo violin, but today we'll be playing a version that is for string orchestra and solo violin. And speaking of the solo, we have Tor, our Grim Reaper, who is going to come up, and he's going to play 2 notes together for you. And you'll notice there's something very wrong with them. Wow, can you play that one more time? That was really scary. Oh my goodness. If you were alive in Europe a few hundred years ago, that interval, the distance between those 2 notes, meant that trouble was coming. Big trouble. They even thought it meant that the devil was near. Anytime you hear that in music, it means you better watch out. And it's called a tritone. We'll invite Tor to have a seat. And if we could possibly get the house lights turned off again, that would be wonderful. you, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, backstage. We hope that you've enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed performing it for you. Now that you've heard the piece, it has a very scary title. Danse Macabre means the dance of death. Now let's lighten the mood a little. Could we have our next slide by pressing the right arrow? When I was just a little younger myself, a wonderful movie came out, an animated feature, and it was all about Halloween. You may have heard of it. It's called The Nightmare Before Christmas. And this particular song is called This Is Halloween. We just have some people whose arms come off, some people's faces are pulled off, but we see that kind of thing all the time. Let's now take a trip a little farther back in time to 1982, when I was just 3 years old, being driven to preschool and not able to see out of the back window of my mother's car. But this song was on the radio all the time. Maybe you've heard of a lesser-known pop figure named Michael Jackson. And maybe around this time of year, you've heard just a little ditty he once croaked out. Get it? Croaked? Too soon? Called Thriller. concludes the first part of our program, where we are so happy to perform for you. But that's only part of what we hoped to accomplish today. We are hoping that you have your instruments out, in your hands, ready to go, because a little birdie told me that you've had a chance to work on some wonderful play-along tracks. I think tunes along the likes of the Monster Mash and Ghostbusters could have passed through your fingers in the last few weeks. So if you will give us just a brief moment, we are going to project those notes on the entire wall so that you can play at home. This would also be a wonderful time for your parents or grandparents or your older siblings to grab that digital or video camera so they can take some pictures of you or even a video clip and send that to us. Wouldn't that be fun? So, rosin up those bows. Make sure your costume is moved aside enough that you can play. And we will be right back with the Monster Mash. It seems that this program is reliving my childhood, but here's Ghostbusters from 1984. girls, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our first ever Northport High School Orchestra Halloween Spooktacular. I hope you had lots of fun. I hope you will watch this video many times, and feel free to share it with anyone that you think would have as much fun as we did. Before we go, I would like to ask the orchestra musicians who decorated themselves to look like skeletons to stand so they can be seen. Where are my skeletons? Stand up tall so we can see your handiwork. Look at them glowing in the dark. Wonderful. Have a seat. And we have some very special costumes as well. James and Tor, stand up and take a bow for the Grim Reaper. And I'm afraid to ask what that is, but it's awesome. Yay! Okay. Don't forget to keep playing, to never give up, so that someday soon, in a few short years, this will be you. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.